Okay, I don't know how well you're going to be able to hear me, but we're about to do some beer bottling here in the kitchen. We are bottling in 2 liters, so we are currently, I have my daughter over there. She is rinsing out 2 liters, and we're sanitizing. We're going to sanitize with Star San. So the wife is mixing up this is her batch, so she's mixing up Star San, and it's, just did the math earlier, it is half a teaspoon per 2 liter for the Star San. This is a new no rent sanitizer that I'm using. This stuff is absolutely awesome, so we're going to start using this stuff from now on, and we're going to go through the process here. Well, she's mixing that up, she's got to shake it up. You'll notice it's a foaming sanitizer, which is kind of a pro and a con. It's an acidic soap, but one of the benefits behind Star San is it's no rinse because it breaks down once it's in the batch. Thank you, darling. It completely breaks down into goodies for the yeast to eat, so there's no need to rinse it. So as that's getting mixed up, we are rinsing out all my 2 liters. It's going to take about 9 2 liters. We're bottling the Dunkelweizen. We're going to get set up. We're going to sanitize all these bottles in sequence, and we'll be back to you. Okay, we have several of the 2 liters already sanitized at the moment. You'll notice she's pouring that. Got 3 more to sanitize. You want to pour as much of the Star San in as you can. Well, I guess you do if you're in a hurry. That's good. I just don't want to take forever. Just put some in all 3 of those. Then we're going to shake it up to sanitize. As long as you don't rinse it, it's staying in contact. Now you can, one of the things I didn't know about this is with 5-star Star San, you can reuse this sanitizer over and over and over again for 2 to 3 months according to the manufacturer. If you go to, and from the inventor's, in his own words, shaking that up to get full contact and just leaving the suds in the bottom. The suds will break down into yeast food essentially. According to the inventor of Star San, the soap breaks down into something that will invigorate, I don't know the chemical name for it, but something that will invigorate the fermentation process. So the foam is fine. It's actually a good thing. It's going to help fermentation. And the idea here is what we're doing is I always bottle in 2 liters because if we're going to crack open some beer, between the wife and I, we are definitely going to drink at least 2 liters. Oh, she didn't shake that one, so she's going to refill and shake it. One, 2, we need 9. 1, 2, 3. Maybe 1 bottle short. So she's going through and putting the Star San in each one, and we can tell when we've sanitized one because it's got the foam in the bottom. And then we're going to take our 5-gallon batch and we're going to bottle, and I'm going to show you guys how to use my new forced carbonation system. We're actually going to carbonate. We're not going to use priming sugar. We're going to carbonate with the CO2 tank. I'm going to show you guys how to do that because I just learned and it's a lot of fun. So, alright, we're going to get finished sanitizing and we're going to ramp up for bottle filling. I'm going to show you guys how we do that. Okay, here we are back, and I have, we finished sanitizing the bottles, and you can see we've got the bottle caps and Star San over there soaking. Finished sanitizing all those. Got a couple set up here. And we've just got a little stool to give us some elevation, and there's the dark wheat batch, the Dunkelweizen that we put together, and we have a racking cane and a bottle filler, and we're going to start filling these in turn, just like this. I'm a big fan of bottle fills, or the bottle fill adapter. Now, because we're going to force carbonate these, we're not going to carbonate via yeast. We're going to do it with the CO2 container. We're only going to fill these up to just above the shoulder. Yeah, just right about there, so that we have plenty of head space to get CO2 in there, so we don't have to do it 75 times for each bottle just to get a good carbonation. We've already cleaned out space in our deep freeze to really get a good chill on these. So we are bottling the rest of these. We've got all the 2 liters standing by. We're going to fill each one of these, and when I get to the forced carbonation stuff, I will grab another clip and show you guys what's up. But for right now, just going to let her finish filling that one so you guys can see the appropriate level. Keep going. Keep going. Don't worry about the suds. Stop. Pull it up. Now go to the next one. Perfect. Just enough headspace. I know it may make you nervous seeing the suds. Don't worry about it. It's going to break down. That's just part of the sanitizer. It's actually a lot cleaner this way because I don't have to rinse the sodium metabisulfite out of the bottles anymore. I've always been worried about tap water contamination. So this way it's a lot cooler as far as sanitation. So okay, we'll catch you guys in just a minute. Okay, here's a trick I want to show you guys really quick that I've learned about bottling in 2 liters. Not all caps are created equal. This came off of a 2 liter. I think this was yeah, it's like orange soda from Walmart. This 2 liter cap on this bottle will not hold pressure, and you have to test it for each individual. This cap will hold pressure on another bottle, but not on this one. And to test it, you put the cap on really good, then you squeeze. You see it's not holding pressure? That's really not holding pressure. It may just have a little hiss. So I'm going to take this and set it aside. This will probably work good on one of the clear bottles that orange juice came in, or the orange soda. So this one, we're going to do the same test, put it back on, and then squeeze. Nothing. So you want to make sure that your cap is mated properly to your bottle and it's holding pressure. That's going to be really, really important. One, for if you're not doing the forced carbonation like we're about to do, it's going to be really important for just not oxidizing your wine or your beer. But if it doesn't hold carbonation, when we force carbonate it, it's going to be flat beer, and nobody likes that. So make sure to give your bottles the squeeze test with whatever cap you have made. Okay, we've got all the 2 liters filled. We got 10 in total. So now we have some space cleared out in our chest freezer over there on the far end. We're going to start putting this down for the 2 liters down to get them really, really cold so we can carbonate them. I think we're going to be able to fit 5 in there, but we're going to see. Go ahead. Here, I'll just hand it to you. You'll notice this one's a little cloudy. That was the last one. It should settle out. It's got a little bit more head space. Got enough for 2 more? Okay. Awesome. So just so we don't forget about these and have a giant beer genocide, we're going to close that, and I have my thermometer set for 20 minutes to remind us, and I'm going to come check the temperature and see if they're cold enough without being frozen. Okay, here we are the next morning, and we have all of these, the 10 2 liters, completely chilled. We've chilled them for each 2.5 hours in the fridge. We actually started carbonating half of the batch last night and put those in the fridge as opposed to the freezer. So I'm going to give you guys a video demonstration of how to do this. First thing you're going to need is a CO2 tank. That's a 10-pound tank. with a regulator. I have my regulator set to 30. Not sure if you can see that. So we're going to be pumping 30 psi in, and this hose has a little gas adapter on it, just the same thing you would have for kegging. And then we have this. It's called a carb cap. There's a buddy of mine in Bay Area Astronauts that can show you how to build a really expensive version of this. His name is Mr. Drivesdale, and I'm going to put a link up on this. So my daughter's going to show you a demonstration of how to do this. First thing we're going to do is unscrew the cap. She's been doing this for soda for a while. So don't screw it all the way down. You got to squeeze the air out of it, remember? Now screw it all the way down. You got it misthreaded on there. There you go. Now, alright, I'm going to make sure the tank is on. And lift it up. You don't just... Remember how I showed you? You want me to do it? Just like that. And you want to give it a second for that pressure to equalize back up to 30. And you pull it off. Now the fun part. Now you have to shake it. And notice how much you guys can't see it, but if you squeeze this container, it's very, very hard because it's got 30 psi in it. Shake. And if she shakes it, the CO2 is going to dissolve in solution, and it's going to get softer and softer and softer. Yeah. Normally I'll do this for, been experimenting with it because this is really my first time doing forced carbonation. I'll do this 2 rounds of this. You dissolve your first shot in there, then you put it in the fridge, let it get nice and chill again, and it gets really soft again. Then you can put another shot of CO2 in there. Alright, so put it back up. Okay.
Cold.
Okay, so it's much, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's much softer than it was earlier. So now here's the trick. We're going to make a little bit of a mess. But I'm trying to get that off one-handed. You got it? There you go. Now, it's going to fizz a little bit. Okay, don't squeeze.
Not squeezing.
There we go. Oh, go wash that out. Going to put that cap on there tightly, and we're going to move on to the next one. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed is kind of difficult. All right, get that partially on there, and squeeze. Get the air out, just like that. Now, you want to try it again? Okay. Leave it on there. Leave it on there for the pressure to equalize. Okay, good. Now pull it off. Now shake it.
Cold.
So she's going to shake that, and we're going to rinse, lather, repeat on the rest of these, and then we're going to chill them back down and again and let them settle, and they'll all be soft. Do this about 2 rounds, and you'll have really nice, well-carbonated beer.